Jahoda is the brand new 4-star coming to Genshin Impact for version Luna 3. And when I first looked at her kit, I thought she was going to be quite good. Then when I learned about it more, I thought she was terrible. And now I'm kind of a bit in between. So let's talk about exactly how she works and what her potential teams might be. Welcome to Jello Impact, where we build and test every single character to help you decide who you want to wish for and build. The version Luna 2 banners featuring Nefer and Farina are finally here. If you're planning on spending for these or any future banners, let me recommend Loot Bar. I have been personally using Loot Bar for over a year, and I've spent thousands of dollars on my personal account. They are safe, using currency exchange to get you discounts on the crystals you were going to buy anyways. They have tens of thousands of 5-star reviews. They're very easy to use. Just choose the pack you want, enter your UID and region, and your top up is delivered in minutes. New users also get a 10% coupon. New users clicking my link also get access to a $2 welcome. Returning users get a 5% and 3% discounts. And if you plan on buying currency for Miliastra Wonderland or other games like Honkai Star Rail or Zenless Zone Zero, you can also do that through Loot Bar. It's partnerships like these that allow me to continue bringing the content I do to the channel, as well as supporting my family. So thanks to Loot Bar for sponsoring the video. By the way, we also got drip marketing for Rear. He's the only character since Dainsleif to get drip marketed and not be playable in the following version. It does look like drip marketing, and he did get a short, so it's quite surprising that we got drip marketing of him. We do expect Dainsleif to be playable. Does this mean Rear will be playable? I don't know. There's not much to say, so I didn't want to make a whole video on this. He's a villain, an evil villain, so it's unlikely, I feel, that he'll be playable. But at the same time, why would they do drip marketing like this? Is it just for hype? It's obviously to make us wonder if he's gonna be playable. But yeah, we'll wait for more information, future speculation, reliable speculation to see maybe something will happen in the future. But I did want to mention this quickly since I'm not going to be able to make a full video on it, and hopefully we get some more information. I'll keep you updated if we learn anything. So for Jahoda, first of all, amazing design. One of my favorite designs out of Nod Cry. I am a little bit disappointed with her animations. I feel like she has much more bat theming around her than cat theming, but her animations are like cat themed, so a bit disappointing, but but I like her design a lot. She is Anemo, she is Bow, and her Ascension's healing bonus, so you can guess she's going to be a healer, and she counts as a Nod Cry unit, which is a double-edged sword. It's good for some teams and bad for others. So that's kind of interesting. We'll get into that when we talk about team building. For her normal attacks, they are very cute and very bad. So yeah, probably not going to be making her a normal or a charge attack character. Her skill is where the main functionality comes from her kit. So you're going to run around and you're going to infuse her little container thing with whatever element that you're swirling, and she will contain that and then apply that element from off field. So this is really cool. It's somewhat similar to what we got with Lynette, but she requires you to spend a bunch of field time running around, which I think will hurt her DPS numbers overall. But maybe not, because her cooldowns are actually a little bit on the long side of 18 seconds cooldown, which means she extends rotations for Flynn's, which is one of the reasons why she doesn't work all that well with Flynn's. For her burst, this is where she heals. She is both going to heal the active character and whatever characters that are lowest on health. So it's not like full team-wide healing, but it's at least some team-wide healing. So that's pretty cool. And I feel like this is just one of those memes. It's like, Hoyo, this is the 7th time you've shown an Anemo healer in class. Like, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then Lanyan's a shielder, so it's like 5 or 6. So this really is I was just joking with 7, but it's like we're really getting there. So another Anemo healer, especially after we just got Aoife and Mizuki and Lanyan last version. Like, really, we're going here again? Disappointing. But the healing might be good for one of her teams, which we'll talk about. So for her passives, in her passives, there's one part that gives a damage buff to Pyro, and she gives a different buff to other stuff, but the others don't seem particularly relevant to me. This is the full thing if you want to read it. Basically, and if I'm wrong and the other ones are relevant for some reason, I'll let you know in future videos. Also, normally I get the benefit from other theory crafters making videos on these, so TGS, Flip, Zajef, whatever, but no one seems to be doing a lot of Jahoda calcs. Everyone's really focused on Durin stuff, Hex and Circle stuff, so I haven't actually seen very much on Jahoda at all, just a couple things here and there. So mostly this is my own cooking, and so I will learn stuff in the future and we'll update it in future videos as we get changes in the beta. But for now, yeah, she gives a damage bonus to Pyro, or damage buff to Pyro, other irrelevant elemental buffs, and then 100 EM buff for characters that she heals. Oh, and now I'm realizing that these are self buffs, not team buffs. So yeah, her first passive is just mostly irrelevant elemental buff. Yeah. But she does give 100 EM, which, hey, 100 EM is 100 EM. It's a downgrade from Sucrose, who gives around 200 EM, 184, something like that. It's for characters she heals and are above 70% HP. I wonder if that means she won't give the buff to characters who aren't damaged at all, or if, like, overhealing counts. Hopefully overhealing counts, because otherwise, if you didn't get damaged, that would be really bad. Because, like, if you're, yeah, like, because it says, when the elemental burst heals an active character, oh, it's only the active character too. So they have to be active, she has to heal them, and then they have to be above 70%. Hopefully it counts for for overhealing. Surely it must. And then her constellations, we'll do constellations instead of con. Her C2 gives a second elemental buff, so that doesn't actually matter. And then her C6, basically her C6 is the only relevant thing. She gives 5 crit rate and 40 crit damage for Nodcry characters. Apparently Chevru's overhealing counts, and Chevru's healing counts even for Arlecchino, who she doesn't actually heal. So the healing probably shouldn't matter, thinking about it more. But yeah, her C6 is pretty good. It gives, 50 crit value, 40 crit damage, 5 crit rate to Nodcry characters, so that is pretty good. Unfortunately, it does require filling up her tank thing, whatever it is, and you're not going to be able to do this on a Nefer team. So it's actually only working for Flynn's and Anefa right now. So yeah, you can see why my immediate reaction is like, oh, she's going to be pretty good because she's going to give 100 EM and she's going to give 50 crit value. So that's going to be pretty good for Flynn's. But then realizing that she extends rotations, and then the second one is that she counts as a Nodcry unit. So that means that you actually lose the Nodcry resonance, which actually requires at least one non-Nodcry unit to get the resonance. So an optimal Flynn's team is going to be Aino, Inefa, Sucrose. I could see, if you don't have C6 Aino, here's what I could see. Farina plus Tenacity of the Millilith is not too far away from Aino. So I could see, for non-C6 Aino havers, I could possibly see C6 Jahoda plus Tenacity Farina plus Inefa beating out C6 non-C6 Aino Inefa Sucrose. So there's that. I could also see, yeah, Elegy for the End if you have on Jahoda being an upgrade to Sucrose, but losing Thrilling Tales, losing the bigger EM buff, and losing the Nodcry resonance is a lot. And so you're giving up a lot losing Sucrose, like choosing Sucrose, losing Sucrose for Jahoda. There is a subsection of people, though, that find it very difficult to keep Flynn's alive, sometimes even with Inefa, which to me that just says skill issue, and maybe build more attack on your Inefa instead of EM for more shielding. But if you're one of those people, then Jahoda could be okay for you. The other big problem, though, is that this constellation is not going to be gotten by very many Flynn's havers, right? And because it's the big bulk of her buff for Flynn's is locked behind her C6, I don't realistically see Jahoda being a real upgrade for Flynn's in any meaningful way. So yeah, hopefully she gets some buffs for Flynn's. For Nefer, it doesn't really work. You might be able to get this EM buff, but the C6 will not work. I'm thinking she could be a healer option for Mualani, because 100 EM, you're losing 80 EM from Sucrose, but at least you're getting healing, but that's also going to extend rotation, so it's probably still going to be pretty bad. But this is where my cooking comes in, is we've got Hu Tao, Farina, and Inefa. This possibly might actually work. So if you hope, right now, Hu Tao's best team, if you didn't know, is Aino, Yelan, Inefa. You really want the Nodcry resonance on this team, and Jahoda can provide that for you. She can also be a VV option for Inefa and Farina, and I'm hoping that Jahoda can infuse with Hydro, and the Hydro infusion between Jahoda and Farina is enough to vape all of Hu Tao's hits, and then the Swirl can boost Inefa's damage. I think that this could work. And whether you're at C0 or at C6, Jahoda, I feel like this could really work, because if right now it's Aino, Inefa, Yelan as the best Hu Tao team, I don't know. I could really see this being a new best in slot for Hu Tao. You shouldn't swirl, and for people saying that the infusion won't work, you shouldn't swirl Pyro at all on this team. So I don't see why she would infuse with Pyro, because she's not swirling any Pyro. Unless I'm totally misunderstanding how it works. I don't think she's swirling any Pyro, so I don't think she's applying any Pyro. I see. So people are saying apparently her infusion is not based on what she swirls, it's based on Pyro, Hydro, Electro, Cryo. If there's Titan elements, you would actually need 2 hydros to infuse hydro. So people are saying even this won't work. I thought it's based on what she swirls, not based on the enhancements are based on this, not the infusion. All right, yeah, I did some digging. Her elemental infusion is based on the element swirled, not based on this priority. So yeah, she should be fine to do the Hu Tao team and to do all the things I said. So false alarm, chat baited me, no worries. I think that Jahoda is overall going to be an okay 4-star, especially at C6. If this team ends up working, seems like she's going to be okay, but there's a bunch of beta to come. Hopefully she gets some buffs, especially with how much I like her design. I hope we see her getting a few more uses, but you know, people who are a fan of Hu Tao are probably a fan of Jahoda as well, and using them together, that seems sort of cool. So I'm pretty excited. Since I have some sort of use for her, I'm more excited than if she was just, you know, a downgrade to Sucrose, unless I put Elegy on her and get unrelatable, and I, you know, go for my C6 Jahoda, whale for C6 Jahoda. I don't know. Let me know if you want to see me whale for C6 Jahoda. And if you're excited for her, subscribe to our podcast down below and subscribe to me. I'm trying to pass Jeff in subscribers just for fun. I don't know. And if you don't want to do any of that, that is totally fine. Just watching the video has been more than enough. Thanks so much. Bye for now.